Welcome back, my friends, to an episode of TFT Hyperroll from Mission for Tuition. This is for set 6 on the PBE, so everything is subject to change, and before we get into the build, let's go over what Mission for Tuition is all about. It's called Mission for Tuition because we are trying to help pay for our son's middle and high school tuition. We don't ask for donations, nothing like that. It's all views. So we count on you to help with the YouTube algorithm by liking, commenting, subscribing, doing all of that good stuff to help the video get out to more people so it can get more views, we can make more money for tuition. With that said, let's get started with this build. So I started off with a Poppy off the carousel and then noticed that it gave me a Heimer out of the NPC capsule. So I'm thinking, hey, this is a good chance to go Yordles. But those first two augments do not work. So I decide I'm going to go with the Woodland Charm. Now, when I made this video, it was still 1500 health for the copy. It has now been reduced to 1350. And the way Woodland Charm works is it looks at your highest health champion and then creates a doppelganger of it with 1350 health. It used to be 1500 when I made this video. They've nerfed it down to 1350. Not a huge change, but it is something I wanted to mention while I knew about it. Since I was immediately able to pick up a 2-star Ziggs, I was now fully committed to going Yordles. Now, Yordles works a smidge different in Hyperroll. Oh, by the way, I pick up the needlessly large rod here because I want to make the jeweled gauntlet for Ziggs. But Yordles works a smidge different in Hyperroll than it does in Ranked. In Hyperroll, you get 2 Yordles per round. Once you have the 3, in regular TFT, you only get 1. As with the Yordle builds in the days of yore, you're going to want to roll fast and furious because a lot of your Yordles are 1 and 2 cost, and so you want to pick up as many of them as possible. Really, your ultimate goal in a Yordle build is to try to get all of them to gold and then summon the Yordle Lord, which is a secret champion, and it's veigar. But that's only if you can get all 6 Yordles to gold do you get a shot at that. If and when you do decide to go Yordles, and it is a lot of fun to do, you're relying a lot on luck and or getting the perfect augments for it to work. Right here, boom, a lot of luck, we're straight to a gold Ziggs. Since Ziggs is an Arcanist, I decided to put Vex in, who is also an Arcanist, so we're triggering that buff. And remember, with Ziggs, there's now going to be 2 of them because Ziggs is the highest health champion on the screen. So that Arcanist buff will count on both Ziggs and the Doppelganger whenever they cast. At least that is what I've been led to believe. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But as you'll see here, they both do fire ults even though they miss. And that is something I have seen in this set, that Ziggs loves missing ults and throwing them just where people were. Maybe they wanted to make it more like Real League. I don't know, but Ziggs misses ults a lot. And I'll speed you through some of these fights because it's a pretty done conclusion at this point. With this early of a gold Ziggs and the Arcanist buff, we're going to be doing damage even though Ziggs is missing so many ults. But when they hit, it does the job. I was really torn here because normally I would just see a spatula and pick it up. But there is no Yordle combination you can make, and even though you can make an Arcanist emblem, I decide that since Poppy is going to be the main and pretty much sole tank of this team, I'd rather pick up an item for her that will work better in the future. And again, we'll speed you through this one because with 2 gold Ziggs in the back just throwing bombs, they're going to be doing damage. There goes Darius, and very quickly there will go Ezreal as well as 2, well in this case, Heimer finishes him off. We move into our second augment, and I look at the possibilities, and the runic shield really stands out because it means Arcanists are going to start the combat with a shield equal to 600% of their ability power, and since there are 2 Arcanists on the team already, it is a good way to go, and I think that's going to be my backup plan for this build. And as we continue, I'm holding back putting some items on where I could. I could put a Titan's Resolve onto Poppy, but I want to see if maybe there's a better way to do with the rapid fire cannon or giant slayer. There are lots of different options. I want to see which Yordles get powerful and which ones I'm having more trouble with. But at this point in the game, it gives someone else an opportunity to finally get the jump on me and end my win streak. In the next item shop, we grab the needlessly large rod because the Arcanist is definitely the path that we're going, and we want to keep Ziggs strong since Ziggs is our main damage at this point. I choose the Morellonomicon because Ziggs' ult in this is an area effect. It does the most damage to the one in the center, but the people around it also get hit as well, so that will put some burn on them. With Poppy now up to gold, I decided to go with the Titan's Resolve so Poppy can get stronger and stronger, and Poppy's also now the one who's going to double, so we get the extra tank up front. And while I'm looking at the board and realizing I may not be getting the exact augments and champions I need in order to summon the Yordle Lord, I do have a very, very strong build at this moment. We finally find a Lulu and are able to put her out, which gives us the 6th Yordle, which makes our spells cheaper to cast, 20% at this point in the PBE. And while I was really hoping for high roller so I could get 3 loaded die and get a good shot at the Yordle Lord, Arcanist Soul is awesome because it will just add 2 traits on, so I go straight up to the 4 Arcanist, which is going to give an additional buff onto Ziggs and Vex and give me a pretty clear path forward that I probably want to try to head to 6 Arcanists. I've added in a Leona right now because she also has the bodyguard along with Poppy, which adds extra armor and taunts nearby enemies. That's keeping them more up front, allowing Ziggs and Vex to get more damage in. And I just want to show you a little bug that currently exists on the PBE. Notice I have 3 Lulus, but they did not combine into a silver 2-star unit. This happens with Yordles, it seems. I posted on Reddit and I submitted a bug report. Hopefully it gets fixed sometime soon. If you do play Yordles, expect to see that happen, but it doesn't seem to really have a giant impact on games at this point. As you can see here, Lulu might have done a little bit more if she was up at 2 stars, but we're still able to beat the other team. That little bug doesn't last too long. Once you get an additional Yordle, it will fill in the silver. As you see in this point, I got additional Lulus and now I have a silver Lulu. I also managed to get the 3-star Heimer, so Heimer is now the character that is duplicating because he has the most health on this team. And with that win secured, we are now heading into the top 4. And with a gold Vex to boot, we also have Yuumi in there, so I pick up the second one. Yuumi gives us the Scholar bonus, which gives us additional mana every 2 seconds. I'm able to trick Riot into giving me a silver Lulu because we had 3 bronze and I just moved them around. With Vex now at gold, she is the one duplicating, which is great since she's an Arcanist and will be doing a lot more damage for us. So this build is really working out nicely, and as you can see, Yuumi's ult stops the other team in their tracks and allows us to completely finish them off actually quite easily. So during the NPC round, my new best friend at Riot, sorry Gary, but Ava's kind of awesome, decided to give me a 2-star Victor, so I just loaded all the items I had left onto Victor and decided to go for it. And you gotta see this because this is kind of funny, and I think I would have won this fight either way, but there Yuumi got a little bit too much catnip and is just not able to attach to anyone despite no matter how hard she tries. She is just bouncing off of people left and right. She's able to get her ult off, but she's not shielding people the way she's supposed to or gaining her mana back. I did win, but I think, again, that was destined anyway. And I wound up just 1 Tristana short from a gold Tristana, so I apologize. I'm not going to be able to show you veigar in this match because you have to get all of the Yordles up to gold in order for veigar to come out, and we just wound up a little bit too strong with this Arcanist build. So if you want to go for Yordle, I do suggest Arcanist as your secondary trait. It's really strong and can win you the match. Hope you enjoyed the video and have an absolutely awesome day.